game on the line. Williams lofting one for a doozy. He caught
it! You're listening to the world's #1 football podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen, Matt Hartman, and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Project, where we will be finishing up our schedule predictions for 2026 today. This weekend, preseason football comes to a close after the noon Saturday games. Our next NFL football game will be held between the Seahawks and the Patriots. Very, very exciting stuff. But nonetheless, another headline that we've got for this podcast is that we will be starting the brand new schedule, or I guess old schedule, if you've been here for a while, as far as the regular
season schedule.
Yeah, for the regular season, which will be the pro show, which is what we're doing now, will be held on Wednesdays. And then the college show, I mean, I'll leave to you guys to talk about just for a little bit, because you guys have done a little bit regarding college football as of recently. You guys want to talk about it a little bit? Promo? Plug it?
Tuesdays. College show. Tuesdays, y'all. No,
yeah.
Week 0. Let's go. Week 0 is at the time of recording this live. Is 3 days away, which is crazy. 2 days away, which is crazy. So a lot to look forward to. Again, me and Matt are going to be spearheading the College Corner again this year. Make sure you guys are tuning in, watching that. Ryan may be writing about college football from the casual lens. So make sure you guys go to the website and do all that stuff. Yeah. Live on Tuesdays, 8:30 Central Time.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Matt, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I finished the league today, so that was bummer because I was really enjoying the show. But other than that,
bring it back.
I'm very, very excited for us to finish the division predictions.
Very excited to be done.
Ben, how are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, doing great. You kind of piggybacking off of Matt here. Just started watching new season of Ted Lasso. Don't know if you boys are into that. Love it. Glad that's out. Started watching that. If you like that, you should go watch it. Doing great. Excited for college football. Excited for NFL. Excited to talk about the NFC North.
Yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. I think that we're going to do this the same that we did last week. So the Bears will probably be last, but you guys want to start with the Lions?
Sure.
All right, starting with the Lions. The Lions. Last year, pretty down year. 9-8. The offense was still very successful, but not quite up to the heights that it once had with Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell took play calling back around the Commanders game and never looked back. Their defense still surprisingly pretty good metric-wise. They were very funky in the terms of they were very old school in the sense of they played base more than anybody. They played base more than 55%, which is 3 linebackers. And that is super duper rare in this NFL. But their big changes on the offensive coaching staff was bringing in Drew Petzing from Arizona. It seems that none of their stuff has changed. It's more so Drew Petzing is learning the Lions offense. So that's pretty interesting. I always like hearing that just from the sense of kind of scanning the room and saying, I'm the one who needs to change, which works out. This offense has been a juggernaut for the last 4-ish years. Their big extensions came in the form of the 2023 draft class with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Rocky Sin came back. Malcolm Rodriguez, Avonte Maddox, kind of depth pieces we'll talk about because of the injury. They, of course, swapped David Montgomery to the Texans for pick 128. They got back Drew Scruggs, who is a very main character of this Lions season now, with one of their signings, Cade Mays, at the top, getting hurt at center. So it seems he's going to slide into there. Larry Borum, DJ Wanham, Peyton Turner already placed on IR. Christian Izien, Isaiah Pacheco, Chuck Clark, like just ton of swings. Let's see, how this depth fills out. I think Brad Holmes and this team has done the hard part, getting the stars. Can they fill out depth year to year to see if this thing really goes in a major way again? Their free agency losses, not really a ton that I think we're looking at saying, man, like that guy was awesome last year. Like Anzalone played a ton. I think you can replace him with Derek Barnes and sleep well at night. Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, Meek Robertson, I think that's a big loss. And then DJ Reader, Al-Qadim Muhammad, Roy Lopez, and Terrion Arnold, of course, after the release. Their draft, Blake Miller in the first. They traded up for Derek Moore out of Michigan, Jimmy Rolder out of Michigan as well, and Keith Abney and Kendrick Law out of Kentucky by way of Alabama at one point. And then you get into their remaining questions. Is the O-line / the run game once again felt as a strength? Because I think last year it took a major step back. At one point in the season, halfway through the season, they were like 26th in success rate. And that's just not a Lions offense, especially with David Montgomery still there. Now David Montgomery is gone, and that's kind of his strength. Do we see even more Gibbs? Is there, do they mix in Pacheco in a healthy way? I don't know. But I think that's their biggest, weakness they want to solve this year, especially drafting a guy like Blake Miller and moving over Penny Sewell over to left tackle. Can the safeties save the defense midseason? It seems Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are not going to start the season. They are the stars I was talking about. And Kirby Joseph kind of on a more extended timeline than Brian Branch, who tore his Achilles in December. But overall, these are two stars on the back end of this team that really, really need it. So I think that's going to be a major piece of this season. Their defense was fine without him down the stretch last season, but I think they would really like to have two guys that they covet so much as stars. And then lastly, the edge too. I think every year they try and find a way to get a guy who can set the edge and maybe be a pocket pusher. DJ Wanham and I guess Peyton Turner were theoretically going to be the guys that, tried to slide into that Al-Qadim Muhammad role. I thought they could have brought him back, but they instead went otherwise. So that's something that I was thinking about. But where do you guys sit on the Lions right now?
Ben?
Yeah, the one thing about the Lions more than anything, I think when talking about the defense, is everyone is talking about like the safeties and Kirby Joseph and and how he's always injured and everything. But the thing is like I'm not like, I know this is like a bit of a crazy thing to say. I'm not worried about it, right? Like if Kirby Joseph plays, fantastic. Like that is a plus on the season. But we went through the entire year of like not seeing Kirby Joseph play, and you were fine. So if Kirby Joseph can play, like fantastic, we'll make it work. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if not. Because again, we've seen like you guys can like be at least all right without Kirby Joseph. And again, if he plays, it's going to be great. But again, I think the big thing is going to be your other edge. Since Hutch has been there, they just have not been able to find a guy to be on the opposite side of him. And this is just kind of like circulating through like all of these different guys and what works. And Al-Qadim Muhammad, like we finally were like, okay, like this is something that's positive and good. And well, now he's gone. So I think maybe the hope is I mean, you trade up in the second round to get Derek Moore. What does he look like? Can he get snaps? But yeah, a lot of the questions are just going to be coming from the defensive side of the football. I have no concerns about the offense for obvious reasons, other than on the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of I think the defense just took a hit, which is fine because your offense is built to be strong, as they have been in recent years. But some would say, I mean, looking at their defense and what they've done, I think that could be the reason why they weren't a playoff team, in 2026. It's a really weird thing to look at them as fourth in the division because this does not look like a team that would be fourth in, any division really. But I like the Lions in the sense of like, listen, they're a fun team to watch when they're not playing yours. So it's, the one thing that I was kind of concerned about, and I mean, you kind of addressed it early on, was Drew Petzing and his impact on the offense. It doesn't really seem like he's going to be too impactful, but if he's calling the plays, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really big on him as a whole. So it's like, I don't know how much of a say-so he's going to have. But other than that, I mean, the whole Terrion Arnold situation was just unfortunate to kind of fall out. And then, looking at, I mean, Brian Branch recovering from injury, it's just, there's a lot to kind of look down on. I'm confused as far as what Taylor Decker's thinking because it seems like reports are like he's not fully retired yet, but he also like doesn't want to do it yet. So I don't know what his status is. And I know that that's kind of a point of question for them because, they do have a solid right tackle in Penei Sewell, but it's the left tackle position that everybody's like, what's going on?
Kick Sewell over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's you kick Sewell over to left tackle,
obviously
and then you draft Blake Miller for that reason to play right tackle.
Okay. Well, still, there's still questions regarding the offensive line is my point. And with that, you also talk about losing David Montgomery in the rushing game. I'm not necessarily knocking Isaiah Pacheco. I think that he's a fine running back, and sure, I mean, you might be a little bit cheaper than Monty, so it's fine. But I'm interested to see, like I said, not knocking him. I'm just interested to see exactly how he performs in this offense as well, alongside Jahmyr Gibbs, who, of course, is thought of as a top 3 running back in the game, if not the best in the game right now. So I don't know.
Yes.
It'll be interesting. I still think of them as a playoff team and a division contender for sure. They're very dangerous, but there's definitely a little bit more question marks than what we're used to.
I mean, to your point though, I mean, that's a fun thing about this division, right? Like any of these 4 teams could win and be like, yep, like that sounds about right. Like there's not really any other like division that like that I feel that way, that like any of the 4 teams could win and I'd be like, yeah, yep. So no, it's gonna be fun. On breakout players, Ryan, do you have any breakout players for us this week? Breakout players that are not on the Bears.
Yes, but not necessarily for the Lions. So not this week.
Sure.
Or not this week for the Lions, I should say, but other teams, sure.
Sure. This kind of feels like a little bit like a layup for me, and maybe I'm not thinking deep enough here, but for me, I feel like it has to be Isaac Tesla, right? He like down the stretch, like he makes these really fun and amazing catches. It's like, whoa, what did I just witness? But he like just wasn't involved in the offense like consistently enough to be like this super big impactful player. So I think you're heading into year 2. We saw what you can do. Can we build him into the offense more? I think he has the skill set that the offense can appreciate and utilize. And again, he showed the flashes here. And this is just creates for like a really fun trio. And the Lions are hoping to get a little bit of a return on investment for trading up for this guy.
Yeah, I think mine goes to the defensive side. I think Tyreek Williams, again, They drafted him in the first round last year, so likely even more of a cop-out. But I think they drafted him with the idea of letting DJ Reader walk this offseason and seeing him be ready. He'll be able to play next to Aleem McNeil for most of the season, hopefully. So I think that will help come off his plate a little bit. But he was the first guy I thought of just from like the sense of his role into now just cycles into a place that I think really helps his skill set. And I think he could have a big season.
Gotcha. Matt, breakout player for the Lions, Roger McCreary. Write
We're
it
still
down.
here. We're still here.
We're still here. We are still here.
I mean, frankly, I could have said, just as like a lob it in there, but like it'd be a great time for Ennis Rakestraw to be a starter, right? That would be a great time for this player to be someone. The last thing on the Lions before we get into the schedule, I just don't want it to go remiss about the corners. Like the corners are really in a spot where they are scratching at everything. And ironically enough, this is not because I'm like, oh no, we lost Terry and Arnold. Like I loved him in the draft. He's been a terrible bro. It's just more so from the sense of like they paid DJ Reed to be passable last year and he wasn't a good player. So I think he needs to come back to where he was while still trying to figure out, like, is it Rocky Sean? Is it Ennis Rakestraw? Is it Roger McCreary? Like, who is playing CB2 as well as Edge 2 to just kind of fill out this roster? But, should we get into the schedule?
I want to say really quick that Ben's point about Isaac Deslaw, I think is worth noting that Khalif Raymond did leave this team to go to Chicago this year, which moves him up into the depth chart. So I don't really hate that as a breakout player. So to piggyback off of him, that's mine for the Lions. Anyways, all right, we can move on.
He got it in. How does he do it?
Let's go.
All right, the Lions schedule. Keep in mind some of these odds. I've had this graphic probably made for like 10-ish days, so keep that in mind. But they're over-under set right at that little 10.5 mark. They're first in the division, 5th in the conference, and tied for 11th in the Super Bowl, I think, with like the Niners, that tier. Maybe the Eagles are in that hovering around that now. But, that's the Lions.
It's so fun to look at a team that finished last in their division as 5th in the conference for, the odds.
Well, what's fun about it is like you can find the games in which, like, when we compared them to like the Bears schedule, you can find the 3 games that they get compared to what the Bears like get rewarded with, right? In the sense of like, oh, we play this division, we play the equal, in this division, and it's like the Cardinals and Seahawks games are that's the difference, right? Like, it's crazy.
That being said, this isn't even like the schedule that I like the most of all the teams in this division. And I mean, we will get to it, but there's another schedule that I like more, which is funny considering the Lions have the 4th place schedule in this division. So,
I do want to say this really quick before we dive in. Just a little fun fact for you. At this very moment, at 9:18 p.m. Central Time on August 27th, if you look up Lions on Twitter, the Detroit Lions don't pop up even though I've been on, football Twitter for the longest time. If you look up Lions on Twitter, there are 2 Lions that are loose in Indiana right now around the Indianapolis region.
Oh,
like
great.
What?
Stay
like
inside,
what?
Guys.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, we'll do top row, middle row, bottom row. I guess I'll start. I'll have them beat the Saints, lose to the Bills, beat the Jets, beat the Panthers, beat the Cardinals to start 4-1 going into the bye.
Nice. Do you want me to go, Matt, or do you want to go?
I can go. I have them beating the Saints, losing to the Bills, beating the Jets, beating the Panthers, beating the Cardinals 4-1 as well.
There you go. I have them beating the Saints, losing to the Bills, beating the Jets, losing to the Panthers, and beating the Cardinals, starting out 3-2.
For the middle row, this one's interesting because it's like, is Micah Parsons back? Is he not? He just had obviously we'll talk about him a lot in the Packers portion of this, but there was a podcast that he was on saying that he wants to come back as 100% and not like embarrass himself. So
Good.
people are like, is he delaying it or not? But I'm under the impression that in week 7 he will be back, whether that's a snap count or not. So that's why I'm predicting it this way. I will have the Packers beat them at home, and then Packers meaning beating them and Detroit, and then beating Minnesota, beating Miami, lose to the Patriots, lose to Tampa Bay, and then I will have them lose to the Bears as well. So 2-4 in that stretch, putting them at 6-5.
I as well also project Micah. I think this is that stretch week 5, 6, 7. Once we talk about the Packers, I think he'll be back by this stretch. So I'm gonna have Green Bay win this one. I have them beating the Vikings, beating the Dolphins, beating the Patriots, losing to the Buccaneers, and beating the Bears on Thanksgiving.
Okay, so you've got them at 8-3 so far, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm going to preface this portion by saying I'm doing it for all the teams. I'm copping out. I'm going to be a big old loser. All these teams are so close to one another. So you're going to be winning your divisional home games and losing your divisional away games. Literally every single team in this division will be like that for me. So all the teams are going 500 in the division. So I have them beating the Packers and Vikings and Dolphins, losing both to the Pats and Buccaneers, and then beating the Bears 7-4 through the first 2 rows here.
And then to round it out for me, I will have them beat the Falcons, beat the Titans. I'll have them lose to the Vikings in a very weird one in Minnesota. I'll have them beat the Giants. No, they'll get swept by the Bears, and then they will lose to the Packers. So I have them at 9-8 on the season. Repeat from last year.
So Ben, to your point, you have them losing 3 of their last 4.
Yeah, dude, and I was gonna say that like it is a shame that it like works out for them that way. And again, I was like looking at it on my doc that I have, and I looked at it here to confirm, and like it is just funny that it worked out that like all 3 of your divisional games are in your last 4 weeks that are away, and you're just like, yikes. And like, and in general, like that sucks. Like that cannot be fun. So good luck, Lions.
Where am I picking up the Falcons? I have them losing to the Falcons, beating the Titans, losing to the Vikings, beating the Giants, Bears, and Packers to finish the season 12-5.
There you go.
All right.
I have them beating the Falcons and Titans, losing to the Vikings, beating the Giants, and then losing the last 2 to the Bears and Packers. So I have them right in between you guys at 10-7.
All right. So floor ceiling. I could see this team being like 8-9 at an absolute worst. This team is still very good. And I could see like if everything's going wrong. And I mean, to be fair, like in the preseason, their injuries right now kind of rough, but it's also the preseason, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. Just saying, if everything goes wrong for this team, and this isn't just a precautionary thing that like, oh, so and so got hurt. 8-9 is the floor there, and then the ceiling I would put where Matt's at 12-5.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Everybody in this division has the same floor ceiling. It's 9-12. You could all win the division. You could all, kind of have the season the Lions and Vikings had last season, where it's just skirting by, just get into that 500 range. I I don't know about you guys, but the next three we talk about, I had a really hard time. This team I have winning the division, winning the most games, frankly, because I trust the offensive operation, I trust the star talent, and I trust the schedule more than all of the other ones, to be honest. So that's really it.
The Lions on a last place schedule is kind of dangerous. Like, you don't want this team to get any kind of momentum. They're really tough down the stretch. I mean, not the schedule, but just the Lions in general. I mean, if the Lions go into the playoffs with Dan Campbell at the helm and they've got a full head of steam, like especially going into it at a 12-5 record, you're not even just in the playoffs. You're in contention for the 1 seed at that point as well. On any normal season. Now, obviously, I predicted the Rams to go 16-1 or something like that. So it's like, I don't know how plausible that actually is, but it's like, 12-5 on any normal year, you're in contention for a very high seed. You're probably, I would assume, without looking at your other records, probably throwing them in at the 1 or 2 seeds in the playoffs, but still getting an easier matchup. Dan Campbell at the helm. He can. I mean, I'm a Bears fan, obviously, and I mean, Dan Campbell can get me to run through a wall. So it's like you can get these guys cooking, and I mean, this schedule alone, you've got the weapons to go to 12-5 that he's talking about. So, yeah, I don't know. My 9-8 might just be helpful thinking. I don't know. So, all right. So just to review. Matt's at 12-5, Ben's at 10-7. I am at 9-8. Let's move on.
All right. We'll discuss where you guys have them in the overall playoff hierarchy once we finish the division. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, this is probably Minnesota, right? We got to save the gruesome twosome for the end. Minnesota, also 9-8, but they got to 9-8 in a very different way than the Detroit Lions. They were 4-8 at one point. Max Brosmer knocked the Lions out of the playoffs last season, so good on them. Their offense was electric. We got to watch 9 play football for like 10 games, and it was so cool in that Week 1 Monday Night Football game. It was everything you could ask for. Pick sixes, rushing touchdowns, aura moments, getting farmed, and then the rest of the season it was just, you just don't play with it fast enough eternal clock for the NFL, dude. Like, that's kind of what happened. But I'm rambling. Their defense was still great. They bring in Kyler Murray, who last year in 5 games was 18th in EPA and 29th in success rate. I have his numbers. He played all 17 games in 2024, and his rankings in that season were ranked 13th and 9th in success rate. So, again, it's kind of a give or take. Like, this Kyler thing could go either way, frankly. This is kind of molding him into the O'Connell offense. I think they're both going to, it's going to be a marriage where some stuff comes in with Kyler, some stuff comes in with KOC. Like, I don't think they're going to be a heavy play action throw over the middle team, but that's still going to be sprinkled in because that's a core concept of O'Connell. They brought in Frank Smith from Miami. I think Frank Smith, he comes over from Miami as like the main run install guy with Mike McDaniel. So I'm really excited to see what they do with the run game, especially having someone like Kyler who can scamper around and make some plays with his legs. They hired a new GM, Nolan Teasley. He was hired in May, I believe, from Seattle, so coming over from that operation. They brought back Brian O'Neill, TJ Hawkinson, Eric Wilson, Ivan Pace, Carson Wentz, kind of tells me some writing on the wall, Tevier Thomas, who played a ton for them, and Jalen Redmond, the unsung hero of last season. One of the coolest players, wears 61, plays defensive tackle. Their big free agency signing, obviously, was Kyler, but also Juwan Jennings after the draft for $8 million. Come on, guys! Like,
sat for a long time.
How does anybody let that happen? Like, $8 million for Juwan Jennings feels like a steal. James Pierre looks like he's going to play outside corner. Ryan Vandermark from the Bills, and Johnny Hecker is in a punter battle with I think the Georgia guy, Thorson. Yes, I remember seeing him punt in college. But their big departure, they traded away Jonathan Grenard on draft night to Philly. They got a 2026 third-round pick, which ended up being Jacoby Thomas, and a 2027 third-round pick. Jalen Naylor's out the door. Javon Hargrave, they can kind of let that go. Ryan Kelly retired just in school as a depth tackle in Tampa Bay, and the Saints, on the first day of free agency, signed their punter. But their draft, I think this is, I'll play this into the questions here. Like, their draft is very pivotal for how good this defense wants to be. Like, I've said it before, I think Brian Flores sets a floor where I don't think this team could be worse than like 14th in those metrics on defense. But this is a rookie class that if you really hit, it could be top 3, top 4 again. Caleb Banks, let's take it to the bank, baby, in the first round. Can he stay healthy? Jake Golday. I didn't love Jake Golday, the prospect. I love him going into Brian Flores' scheme. Just when you think about, like, we got a new Van Ginkel for the future. Dom Orange from Iowa State, just a big space eater. Caleb Tiernan's going to be likely a swing tackle. I don't know what their future plans are now that they've re-signed O'Neal and they have Darisaw. Maybe they see him as a 6'8" guard.
Yep.
I don't know. But he's someone that, again, you can never have too many offensive linemen after what they had last year, and we'll talk about it. And then Jacoby Thomas, heat-seeking missile in the third round. 4 more day 3 selections. Charles Demings was one I wanted to mention. I think he's someone who can play, even if it is like an FCS player. Like, he's got the traits to do it. Like, it's just, I think he could be a great player. But their big questions outside of the rookie defenders, how much better is Kyler than whatever we got from J.J. McCarthy or Carson Wentz? Because I feel like that is a very linear talking point when we talk about this team. A lot of people, it's kind of, well, if you take out bad and you replace with good, everything else will stay the same. And it's like, well, it's not that easy, but if it does get much better at quarterback, I do think it really helps their ceiling and really helps them in a division where it is defined by quarterback play right now. It is defined by, high-end moments at the biggest time. So having a guy like Kyler instead of McCarthy might do that for you. And then my last one was O-line health. They had 10 different O-line starters at one point during the season. Darisaw was never the right player. Only one player on their offensive line played all 17 games. So can they just get a static offensive line turnover? I'm not saying all 5 guys got to play 17 games, but can they just get better health than what they did last year? Because it felt like they were really running out of options down the stretch of last season. But that is all for Minnesota from me.
Well, and Christian Darisaw is like a dude when he plays, but he's missed 17 games over the last 2 seasons. So over the last 2 seasons, he's only played a season worth of games. And given like he had missed, I think, 10 games in 2024, 7 games this past season. The 7 games this past season was due to recovering from the ACL and I think like MCL tear from the season before. So all of it was kind of like because of the one injury, but like that's a big piece. Like Darisaw is supposed to kind of be the anchor on your offensive line, and over the last 2 years, he has not been able to stay healthy. But then also kind of to your linear point, like I think all the Vikings need is to have like a half decent quarterback. Like we saw it with Sam Darnold in his like first breakout year that he had. And like, look how good the Vikings were. You have the pieces around you, or enough pieces around you for the team to succeed if your quarterback is fine. Like Kyler Murray doesn't have to go out and be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He just can't be Max Brosmer. And as long as you're not Max Brosmer, who was like literally some of the worst quarterbacking I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes, as long as you're not that, you'll be fine. And I just, this Vikings team is very, very interesting. And obviously we'll touch on it when we get to the schedule and everything. But I imagine I'm a little bit higher on this team than you guys are.
Yeah, I think the O-line is the big question mark for me. And, not to just say that for every team, because I know I've already said it for the Lions, but, looking at this O-line and then who you've got at quarterback, meaning Kyler Murray for sure, Kyler's going to need some stability there. And we already saw that in Arizona. This guy panics a little bit. And I know he can get outside, and he's got he's got a lot of it more reliability at the receiving positions. I think TJ Hawkinson can be big, Juwan Jennings, Justin Jefferson, of course. But, this is a huge thing for me. That, like you had said, there's a lot of rotating pieces here, and then not to mention we're going to be missing Jordan Addison for the first 3 weeks of the season due to suspension. So that's a huge hit for the Vikings, I believe, just to kind of free up these other receivers as well. But the quarterback position, it's really weird because like this whole team just hinges on that. And when Kyler Murray was signed by the Vikings, I was huge on it. And then the more that I had time to kind of sit and stew on it, I'm like, I don't know. And then training camp happens, and it's like he's not really all that great. I do want to touch on the JJ McCarthy stuff just because he was the starting quarterback last year. Apparently there's a quarterback 2 battle going on right now, and he's not really looking great between him and Carson Wentz. And it's not a great look for a guy that you drafted in the first round just a couple of years ago. I think for Kyler, the hope is that he can go out and be something good, right? But this whole team and its management this offseason has just been something I absolutely despise. I mean, to hire your GM in May, go through the entire draft process, and just that's when you make the change. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a really crappy position to put somebody in as far as, team building goes. And I think that this team just, downgraded. You have to think Jonathan Allen was somebody they released in, I think it was March as well, to Cincinnati because, they just released him. So that's another interior defensive piece that you're without. Now, obviously they replace him with Caleb Banks, but then you're also losing Hargrave, as you have mentioned. So it's just, again, there's a lot of question marks with this one. You lose an edge rusher to Philly as well. This team wasn't great last year, and you kind of need them to be with the current structure.
I would argue
on the
team wasn't
bright
great
side
because the quarterback play was so bad. That would be my argument. And this is the team that I'm going to stand on the table for this division about is I would argue that they were bad because the quarterback play was so bad. And you get to the moves and you're like, oh, well, they lost Jonathan Allen. Yeah, but Jalen Redmond was really that dude. And then again, you go out and you draft Caleb Banks and Dominique Orange. And then you lost Jonathan Grenard, but finally we've seen some light out of Dallas Turner, and Dallas Turner can just hop in there and be great. I think there's a lot of corresponding moves that they have made that makes me feel confident, right? And obviously, you have to see it played out on the football field. All of this sounds great in theory, and I could absolutely 100% be wrong. But they have corresponding moves that make me feel comfortable, and I'm like, yeah, I see the vision behind it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting just to see exactly where this team goes. Because like I said, it really just hinges on that quarterback play, as you mentioned. But I was going to say on the bright side, I do really like the Juwan Jennings signing. And I think that that's a really good weapon to pair alongside Justin Jefferson. And then TJ Hawkinson as well. I know I'm, hit on him before, but it's if Juwan Jennings and Justin Jefferson isn't enough for Kyler, you've got a guy in TJ Hawkinson that'll be open over the middle. So, this is somebody that, has been reliable for years and years and years. And I think that it should be good. But I just can't get through. I don't know. Well, I don't mean to ramble. We'll just go ahead and go on to our breakout guys.
Yeah, Matt, the reason that I was becoming very upset that you were talking about these defensive rookies is because my 2 breakout players are, 2 breakout rookies that you talked about it like it by name. It wasn't like here's this defensive class. Here, look at some of these dudes. It was the two rookies that you really talked about by name. Again, Jake Golday. He like I think we had this conversation literally the moment that he was drafted. It's like I don't know what to do with him. Okay, like of all the places for him to go, like this is the spot for him to go, and I'm comfortable to at least be able to kind of utilize him in a semi-efficient way. And then again, the other one is Charles Demings. He's just fun. He's made some like splashes here at training camp. Again, he has the traits that you're looking for. He's not going to be super well known. He's from Stephen F. Austin. Who watches Stephen F. Austin football? I don't know a single person that does, and that's why he's flying under the radar. But there is absolutely a path for him to play. Like, I don't think Isaiah Rodgers at this point in his career is keeping anyone off of the football field. So,
for me, I mean, where are we going, Ben? We're going to the bank. I think, again, the same thing. It's back to what I was saying with these rookie guys. Like, I think similar to Ryan's point of, like, it just feels thinner. The depth feels thinner and thinner. But this is the first time they've had a rookie class like this, where we actually have healthy players coming in and, like, a healthy replenishment of players that can all theoretically have the upside to make a difference right away, where you go and look at some of those Kwesi drafts, and it's just like there's no chance any of these guys have, a chance to make an impact right away. So I have Caleb Banks. I'm standing on my takes. I had him in the draft. I have it as a top 12 player. He goes 18. I understand all the injury concerns, but I keep coming back to the same thing. What could you imagine if he does play 17 games? He's going to be the best defensive tackle in the sport right away. So I'm a big fan. But on another note, like, isn't the breakout player segment kind of it's kind of built for like Dallas Turner, right? It's kind of built for this player to take a step from he's a good rotational third DPR kind of guy to like we need him to be a star for this defense to really get to where it's been. And so I'm interested to see what he looks like this year.
I was just going to say Caleb Banks as well, just because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I didn't want the guy like during the draft process. I remember talking to you guys briefly.
Everybody wanted him.
About him. Yeah. So, yeah, Caleb Banks is my guy, but you took the words out of my mouth.
Yep.
All right. Schedule time. Pull it up. The Vikings schedule. Over-under. Juice to the over at 8.5. They are 4th in the division, 10th in the conference, 50-1 to win the Super Bowl. I think tied with like Tampa Bay or Pittsburgh, something like that. They're kind of in that middle range. So, yep.
Ugh, I hate this schedule. I hate this schedule. This is almost threw up with how bad this schedule is.
Yeah, don't like it. Not great.
I take back all of the takes I said about the Vikings before this point. Vikings are not going to win a single game this year.
Single game?
Strictly based on the schedule and the graphic design.
The schedule. Correct.
This is extremely based.
All right.
Ryan.
So we've got 8 games on the left here. I guess we'll go 4 at a time. I'm gonna have them
just take it through the bye.
Oh my goodness.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So they're gonna lose against the Packers, Bears, Bucks. I will have them beat the Dolphins, and then I will have them losing to New Orleans to start 1-4.
Jeez.
Matt?
I thought Ben was going. I thought Ben was excited to go.
All right, Ben,
I'll
go.
go.
Oh,
Ben, go.
sure. Yeah. I guess I'll go. Yeah, I kind of have pretty much the exact opposite. I have them going 4-1 in this stretch. So they're going to beat the Packers, lose to the Bears, and then win the next 3 to the Bucks, Dolphins, and Saints.
I honestly just wanted to go third because, like, seeing the reveal, because doing these on the playoff predictor site, sometimes you don't realize what you've done over the course of 8 weeks. I have them 5-0. I don't know how,
God.
but I have them 5-0 going into the bye.
Let's
so
go.
I thought that was funny.
We're so here.
Are you
We're
keeping
so
that? You're keeping that?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I
Right.
can't switch
Cool.
it now because I got like all my playoffs set,
Cool.
right? Like I
Okay.
got everything set in the way I want it.
Skull.
So do we just want to go with the? How are we doing the next? Are we just doing the next 3? What are we
Yeah,
doing?
Just keep
Do the
just
next
do
three.
The next. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll have them lose all 3 of these. Actually, no. Okay, I'll have
Start
them beat
9.
Indy. All
Start
right.
9. Holy
I'll have them beat Indy. Fine.
Start 9.
I have them beating Indy and then losing the next 2 to the Lions and Bills. So I have them at 5-3.
I have them beating Indy, losing to the Lions, and beating Buffalo. So 7-1.
Okay.
Let's go, dude.
I'll have them beat Green Bay, lose to the Niners, beating Atlanta, beating Carolina, losing to New England, losing to Detroit, beating Washington, beating the Jets, and then I think I had them. Yeah, because Ben Johnson's crazy, I'll have them lose to the Bears as well. So I'm sorry, I just went all the way through that, but screw it.
Yeah.
Dude, this is so stupid. I hate this graphic so much. Just do it. Just do it.
There's
I don't
like-
care. There's
there's
5
a
games
clear
left
cutoff
that they're
at
going to do
5.
it. Don't care. Don't care at all. There's no organization here. For reference, everybody, I haven't been feeling good all day. So I'm just kind of mentally like I'm here. I'm here, I promise. But there was absent. The entire show. We've been live for 48 minutes. And that was okay. So I had them win 5 games out of the last 8. So there you go. 7-10 on the season.
There you go. I have them losing to the Packers and Niners, beating the Falcons and Panthers, losing to the Patriots, and then winning out the rest of the season to the Lions, Commanders, Jets, and Bears, finishing the season at a whopping 11-6. That Bears game is going to haunt you when we get there.
Sure.
It will. Just you wait.
So it comes back around, starting 5-0. I have them losing the next 5 here, to the Packers, Niners, Falcons, Panthers, and Patriots, and then beating Detroit, beating the Commanders, losing to the Jets, losing to the Bears, 9-8. So it all came back around.
Oh my goodness.
Where-
Oh my goodness.
I don't feel good.
All right, ceiling floor. I'm gonna say their floor. Like, dude, the quarterback position matters so much to me, man. Like,
The quarterback
world
position
is-
matters
Have
so
them
much.
at.
And how many
I had
games?
them at 7-10.
Okay. I thought it was like 6. Okay, that's not bad.
No, I'll say 6 though as their floor, and then their ceiling I'm gonna put with Ben is 11.
Yeah, that gross. They won more games last year, and Kyler Murray, like it is physically impossible for Kyler Murray to be a worse quarterback than what we saw out of Max
But you know it's not that easy.
No, obviously.
We
again,
were
like,
just
dude,
talking about it in the presser. They were talking about how they're joking around because he can't see over his own lineman. Like, it's so funny.
are we still
And the
doing
pressure's
this,
gonna
though?
be
Like, are
there.
we really
He's
doing
gonna
that?
freak
Are we
out.
really doing that? He can't see over his offensive line still at this point in Kyler Murray's career.
Dude, the Call of Duty's good this
Dude, he
year.
loves Call of Duty. Oh my god, it comes out in November. Why do you think my schedule happened the way it did? Come on. GTA's coming out, dude. He's pumped.
Hey, actually, Call of Duty comes out on October 23rd. So just saying,
Well,
it
he's
would be the
GTA
week before
pilled this
Indy.
year.
It would be the week of Indy. Just saying.
No. I think their floor is 8 wins, and I think their ceiling is probably 12 wins.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's. I'll do one bet. I think it's 8 to 12. I think it's right in that range. Like again, I feel so. This is so hard to predict these three teams in this division because I like I said, I only have one spot left for my playoffs. So like I just know I'm going to be wrong with this division.
It's the fun of it, right?
I'm excited for the rookies though.
Yes.
To recap, Ben has them at 11-6, Matt has them at 9-8, and I have them at 7-10, which is just fun looking at the line of 8.5.
You're a
Me
hater.
being on one side, Matt being on the other, Ben being high as a kite.
Boom.
High as
All
a
right.
kite, I have them winning 11 games. Cool. It's not like I have them going 16-1.
You're high on this team, is what I was saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're on the higher end.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
You're high as a kite.
Yeah, I'm on the higher end, but you said high as a
Okay,
kite.
buddy.
Absolutely not.
What would be high as a kite on this team? 13 wins?
11
high as a
6.
kite would be 15 wins.
Great point.
All right, let's move on. Good stuff.
All right. Let's move on to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers last season 9-7-1. Once again, reminiscing the last time on that beautiful tie. They lost in the wild card to Chicago. Their offensive EPA and success rate were both top 5. Their defense again fell off a cliff once Parsons went out. So we'll talk about that when we get into the questions. Jordan Love. It's pretty awesome. I like watching Jordan Love play football. And then we get into the coaching changes. Obviously, lost Jeff Hafley to Miami. They re-signed him with Jonathan Gannon and Bobby Babich from Buffalo. So I think those two guys are telling me something. I think they're gonna blitz early in the season when Micah's not in there. Those are two guys who can really turn up the dial, and even in some preseason games I've been watching, they've been turning up the dial a little bit. So I'm excited to see what this defense looks like for the first few weeks of the season. Their main extensions, I mean, brought back Christian Watson, Devontae Wyatt, Jaden Reed, just guys that they have hit on in the draft over, that 2022 are those guys all 2022 draft, or was Wyatt 2023, Ben? Can't remember.
Why it was all in that same draft. They were all in the same draft.
Yeah, because he was that was the. Yes. Okay.
It was just
I
like
got it.
a whole bunch of Georgia guys. It was just like boom,
Yep.
all of them. Yeah.
Yep. Brought back Ryan at center, Darian Kennard as a swing tackle, Josh Wiley, Brenton Cox, and then move over Travis Hunter. Bo Melton's still here, so yeah. They traded Kobe Wooden for Zaire Franklin, so traded defensive line depth for a starting linebacker, and that'll make sense when we get to some of the departures. They brought in Javon Hargrave, Ben St. Juste, Tyrod Taylor, and Sky Moore. Sky Moore's still doing it. I was shocked to see him still getting guarantees on a contract. But their main tradeaways, they traded away Rashawn Gary to Dallas. Seemed like they were going to cut him outright, so getting a pick from Dallas was a win. Dontavian Wicks to Philadelphia, and their big free agency losses, Rasheed Walker to Carolina. If they wanted to keep him, they could have. Quay Walker to Las Vegas, Romeo Dobbs, Elgton Jenkins, Kingsley Enagbare, Emmanuel Wilson, and then they just couldn't re-sign Malik Willis at his number. I don't think they were thinking about that one. Their draft, obviously didn't have a first-round draft pick because of the trade in August, but Brandon Cisse out of South Carolina looks to be in contention for boundary corner. Chris McClellan from Mizzou, Denai Denton-Sutton from Penn State, Jaeger Burton, who is really in the running to be a starting interior lineman for them, Damani Jackson, and Trey Smack. I saw a Trey Smack TikTok edit the other day, so Packers fans love him as a kicker already. So preseason TikTok edits were so back. But getting into the remaining questions, the pressure is on for these first-round picks. Lucas Van Ness, Jordan Morgan, Matthew Golden, all of those guys had some sort of departure in that room to clear way for those guys to get more of an uptick and role. Rashawn Gary in the edge room, Rasheed Walker, the left tackle. He signed for $4 million to Carolina, and they were saying, yeah, you can go, man. And so Jordan Morgan's going to play left tackle, and then, of course, Romeo Doubs goes to New England. So Matthew Golden will get that uptick in role. Just interested to see, because I think a lot hinges on these three players being pretty good, just from the sense of high capital players and the Packers replenishing that depth that I think was a strength for so many years. And getting into that, their O-line depth, it is just no longer a strength. Like, you just think about all the guys that have really come and gone, and now you're really pressing the button of like a round 5 rookie could be in play for starting position because of that, but maybe that's their depth. Who knows? But I think that is something to really keep an eye on. If you ask a Packers fan, what are you worried about? Offensive line. It just comes back to, I think that sets the floor and ceiling for this team. And then the last one, two of their 3 best players got hurt mid-season, or in Parsons' case, really late in the year. Some numbers on them. Prior to the Kraft injury, the Packers were averaging 27.5 points per game. They were 5-1-1. He leaves against Carolina. They scored 13 points against Carolina, and then 7 the next week against Philly. So you felt that subtraction just immediately. And then Parsons left mid-Broncos game. From weeks 1 to 14, when Micah was in there, they were 15th in EPA and 11th in success rate. From week 15 on to the playoffs, they were 28th and 30th. So they went from, hey, we're right in that middle of the pack. Micah is kind of being this closer. He closes games, and now we have no edge presence, no sense of a real winner along the edge, and we're one of the bottom 4 defenses in the sport. So can those guys come back and be what we saw them be last season, like really setting the ceiling and being focal points for what these guys were, or what this team was last season? So that is what I got on the Packers.
Ryan, you go first, buddy.
I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, the O-line was one of the things that I was going to hint at, but in all fairness, I mean, Jordan Love performed pretty well with a bad O-line last year. So, I mean, I wouldn't be as concerned about that. As much as I am Micah Parsons not starting the year and what kind of start they're going to have. The tight end depth is another thing that I have as far as a concern of mine, just because, they just signed Jonnu Smith as of today, just to kind of make up for the tight end room. And
I'll say this, that's probably because Musgrave isn't going to play this season, if I had to guess.
Right, which is fine. And I'm just saying, obviously Kraft is going to make, he's on the mend as well. And he's a talented tight end as well. So, I mean, you can't really count that out. I would hope that Jordan Love stays healthy for the season, just because I don't want to see what a Tyrod Taylor-led Packers offense would look like. I mean, I do as a Bears fan, but it's like, that's bad football, And
Yes.
and we've seen Malik Willis, in the last couple seasons, and I, as a Bears fan, knowing that we're competitive now, I want to beat this team at full health. So that aside, the receiving core, I've never been a fan of. That's always something that I've just like, I always thought of that as a concern. And you don't have a surefire number 1 guy. And with that, it really bothers me about this team. There are rumblings. I don't know if you would, I don't think you addressed this. There are rumblings about a Josh Sweat edition Maybe he doesn't leave the building when the Cardinals leave town. That's a point to make as well with Gannon coming in as DC. I think it's going to happen. It just makes too much sense. And the Lucas Van Ness. The fan base with Lucas Van Ness, they're not very big on this guy, which is crazy because I remember like talking to you guys about him. And I don't know. I thought that he's a fine player, but cool.
I was like, don't lump me into that. I was always out on Lucas Van Ness. Don't lump me in.
No, I was
Matt
saying during the draft process a few years ago, I was just recalling that we did talk about him in general. Whether it was positive or negative is up to the air. But I think the steal. I don't know. I'll save that. Ben, go ahead.
No. Really, the thing that interests me the most about this team is what this wide receiving core is going to look like, right? Like two of your kind of mainstay guys are now out of the building, and Dobbs signing with the Patriots, Wicks obviously getting traded to the Eagles, and now we are relying on three dudes that are all like just hurt. And like, what does that look like afterwards, right? That's Savion Williams, Bill Milton, and Sky Moore. And like that is a massive concern for me, because again, it's injury history for all three guys. I think if all three guys can stay healthy, I think it can, like, this wide receiver room might be like actually shocking, and it could be fun. But just what it looks like with all three wide receivers is really like what interests me the most about this team. And then again, obviously the injuries. What do these guys look like when they come back and start playing football?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I'm interested to see where they lean in, and this I'll play this into the news as of today. I wonder if they lean into passing the ball more than they have, just from a sense of like, this is like I know it can be annoying to talk about how great the Packers are in like the advanced metrics. Like they were 11th in offensive points scored last year, but like all the the EPA stuff, it's great. So it's one of those things where I wonder if they lean more into doing what like Chicago did, where Chicago is so predicated on being explosive and creating those explosive into touchdowns, that I'm interested to see if they really let Love kind of let's go, man. Let's throw it 500 times. We'll see. But speaking to the news, like, what's the Josh Jacobs thing look like? I'm just like, I think it would be naive to not mention this now as something that is going to kind of hang like a black cloud over their season if there's no decision made by week 1, especially with now some misdemeanors being officially charged on him. And so I'm just interested to see how that situation plays out. I know there's video evidence that has been reported. Nobody has the video, but I'm interested to see what happens with Jacobs, because he is an impactful part of this team.
This may be awkward timing. I swear this was what it was before everything that happened. My breakout player is Marshawn Lloyd.
Yep, that was mine.
Finally healthy.
Yes, exactly. He's finally healthy. He has not been able to be healthy. I remember watching him in college. He was a lot of fun to watch in college. Again, he's finally healthy. He can be worked into the backfield. And again, due to everything now, he is going to at least get some more touches than what people expected. So yeah, Marshawn Lloyd is my breakout player. Again, he was my breakout player before all of this has happened. I just want to preface that.
That was mine as well, so I don't necessarily have to hit on it, but he's been making a lot of noise. Fun stuff.
Yeah. I think I kind of think I'm gonna say Edgerrin Cooper and Evan Williams are too good for this, to be honest. I think those guys are already awesome players. But I'll just make mention of Matthew Golden, because I think if I'm talking about, hey, let's lean into the pass game, it's because they have 3 very capable pass catchers with an awesome tight end in Tucker Kraft. So Matthew Golden's got to be one of those players. They drafted him in the first round. I think There's a lot of, I think he's a polarizing player at this point. He didn't break out as a rookie, so I think a lot of people are just down on him. I don't think he's a terrible player. Obviously, he can earn PT his rookie year if he was better, but I think there is trust in him to have a big season this year, and kind of duplicate what Dobbs looked like last year, just playing X receiver. So we'll see if that happens.
Shock, you can go with
For
Carl
the Packers.
Brooks.
For the Packers case, I would hope that Golden ends up being big because, like,
Mhm.
The no regular season touchdowns bit is really annoying for them. I really know that, but it's fun for me. That's a fun point to make. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's like the McBride thing a few years ago. Like, remember when he just like didn't score touchdowns? Followed it up with like
Yeah.
11 the next season.
Look
So,
at him now.
but let us
All right.
get into the schedule. The Green Bay schedule up here. They're over under juice to the over at 9.5 minus 130 under plus 110. They're second in the division, fourth in the conference, and tied for ninth in the Super Bowl odds. Kind of just trust in the offense continuing to be the offense, and Micah comes back and is one of the three best defensive players again.
Shall we do six
Yeah.
and 6 because this is the Devils team? Perfect. All right. I'll start.
Or maybe
yeah.
because that's how the schedule is laid out.
Well, it's
That-
actually
that-
6, 5, and 6, but
Well, yes.
Well,
yeah.
6 weeks. Yeah. All right. So I'll start. Vikings. They will beat. They're gonna win the first 3 weeks. Actually, yeah. First 3 weeks. Then they'll lose to the Bucks. Man, is this at home? This is at home
Yep.
too, right? Yeah.
they're wearing those cool new uniforms.
But they don't have Micah. The Bears are winning this one. And then I will say they will lose to the Cowboys as well. So 3-3 to start. Wait, hold on. Did I say they were beating the Bucks?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Did you?
Yeah, they're not beating the Bucks. 3-3. I'll stick with it.
Let's see. I have them losing to Minnesota, beating the Jets, beating the Falcons, losing to the Bucks, beating the Bears, and then tying with the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. This is really the perfect stretch for Micah to come back. Home Bears, home Cowboys, road Lions. I think they're probably setting up for him to come back one of those weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had them losing it to the Vikings, beating both the Jets and Falcons, losing to the Bucks, beating the Bears, losing to the Cowboys, going 3-3.
All right. I will have them losing to Detroit, beating Carolina, losing to New England, beating the Vikings, losing in the bye, and then losing to the Rams. That would be 2-3 on that stretch, bringing them to 5-6 on the season.
I have them beating Detroit, beating Carolina, losing to the Patriots, beating the Vikings, and then out of the bye, losing on Thanksgiving Eve to the Rams.
So
There
Matt's
you go.
currently got them at 6-4-1.
Yep. Because I can, I'm the last one here. I'm going to. I literally, throughout the rest of the season, I have them flip-flopping games. Again, not intended, but that's just the way that it worked out. So losing to the Lions, beating the Panthers, losing to the Patriots, beating the Vikings, losing to the Rams, beating the Saints, losing to the Bills, beating the Dolphins, losing to the Bears, beating the Texans, losing to the Lions, finishing the season at 8-9, and I don't like that. Like, that just, like, I hate that. Like, this is how it worked out for them, and like their schedule is just not. I don't like it, and like I know I'm going to be wrong having the Packers going 8-9, but that's just what it is.
I will have them beat the Saints, lose to the Bills, beat the Dolphins, lose to the Bears, lose to the Texans, um, lose to the Lions. So uh, 2-4 on that stretch, bringing them to 7-10 as well. Third in the division for that.
I have them beating the Saints, Bills, and Dolphins, losing to the Bears on Christmas, beating the Texans at home, and then for the division, losing to the Lions, finishing 10-6-1.
You're higher than a kite on these Packers here, huh?
I don't know if I'm high as a kite, but I do think the quarterback's pretty good.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's tough because like when I look at the record at 8-9, I'm like, I don't like that. But then I look at their schedule and I go game by game, and like I feel like relatively confident in the games in which I pick. But again, when you look at it from like a macro point, like zoomed out, I'm like 8-9 just doesn't seem right for the Packers. And like, surely this is not how it's going to go for the Packers.
I think it's literally just because of recency bias. They haven't been bad in a very long time, and that was 2018, I believe. So it's like it's been almost 10 years. So yeah, it does sound weird, but like when they're over unders at
This is where they
9.5, yeah, this is where Vegas has them approximately where you've got them. So am I lower on them? Sure. Am I a Bears fan and biased? Probably, but I think
No.
that we've got them exactly. I mean, I don't think we've made any crazy takes during this episode, and it follows exactly where Vegas is. And the craziest part is like, I want to preface this: we don't even take that into consideration, like But Matt, you're gonna say something.
Well, I just want to. Is that so? You guys both have them on the lower end because I would say like that's even outside my floor of 7 wins. Is it just like Micah comes back and isn't the difference maker that we know him as?
I'm just not high on the offense, to be honest. I mean, and it's not even a Jordan
Okay.
Love problem because he's good, but it's more
Yeah.
so the lack of talent at the receiver. I'm not a believer in Matthew Golden yet. I hope that he can be a difference maker, but at this point, between injury history and just overall history in the offense that Matt LaFleur has put him in, I think if this team still, regardless of the hope is, I think of them as still a really good rushing team. Josh Jacobs, I would hope, given the situation, as a person, out taking the fan aspect out of it, that he's at least, I would say maybe a 4 to 6 week suspension is probably reasonable, I would say. And so that knocks them out for the first few games, and that's a pretty reasonable stretch as well, to where you're missing a big valuable piece on your offense and a big valuable piece on your defense. I know that we listed Marshawn Lloyd as our breakout candidate, and we hope that he finishes the entire season healthy, but it's like he also just got back. So it's like the depth is a problem for this team. And overall, I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm starting to wonder what their window looks like. And obviously we're talking about this team as it stands right now. I think if they were to end up, I mean, if the rumors are accurate and they end up getting Josh Sweat, I think that changes a little bit for sure. Maybe a game or two, but it's like, with the depth standing as it is and the pieces that they lost in the offseason, I can't help but to think that they're going to slightly regress this season. I know that they're pissed off and this isn't where they want to be, but what else I mean, it's not an easy schedule. It's not an overwhelmingly hard schedule either, but it's like, this is, I can't help but I'm sorry, I guess, but they're just kind of mid to me right now. I don't know. I think they could be a wild card team. I'll put them there. I guess maybe outside looking in towards the end of the season. I think that there's a chance. Jordan Love, I mean, pardon my French. I mean, I normally don't curse on this show, but like as much shit as I give Jordan Love, like he is a talented quarterback. And so,
Whoa, clip it.
you know,
Clip that, Chad.
when you go through a week by week, like he can win you a couple games, but at the same point, he can lose you a couple games. There's been games to where, like I mean, I think it was Cleveland last year, to where it's like that's a team they should just smoke. And you know, Jordan Love has a bad performance. It's like if these receivers are not who, you know, we hope them to be, if, you know, the running game isn't there, if Micah doesn't come back, hell, people are saying that there's a chance he doesn't come back until week 10. Or like, what if they hold him out until after the bye? Like, I mean,
which I'm pro, by
crazy.
the way. Like I
am too.
I don't know if
I am too.
touch that. Like my big thing is this goes for like injuries across the board for like any team, point blank period. Like, don't rush a player back. If you're a contending team that thinks that you can like make some noise in the playoffs, it is more valuable to have a fully healthy player that has a greatly reduced risk of injury, and he plays the final 10 games of the season, than rushing a guy back so he can play 14 games of the season and like is injured and can't fully recover and increases his chance of getting re-injured and all of that stuff. Like, Micah, stay out. If you're not fully healthy, don't play.
I'll put it this way too, and end it here. If they manage to go 500 at the bye, right? They've got 7 games left. If they hold Micah out, there's a chance that they'll still be in contention for a top seed in the NFC. So, like, I don't think that that's a bad move either. And I'm not just saying this because I prey on this team's downfall annually, but it's like, from an actual franchise perspective, you just traded a lot for this guy. You clearly don't want him to be hurt for too long, but it's like, if you have to preserve the top 3 edge rusher in the league, do it. I mean, what's the point? But anyways, or at the very least, put him on a snap. If you're going to keep him out until week 10, put him on a snap count in week 10, see how things go, and like preserve him in the bye week, let him rest. And then he's got a tough matchup against the Rams coming home, or, you know, in LA. We'll see, but I don't know. That's where it stands for me.
Yeah, I think the disconnect is just going to be like, you got to see it to believe it, where I think I'm just belief in proof of concept. I think that's the difference, right? And I think the defensive pieces are just enough to get them by, but yeah, this season hinges on Micah Parsons and how good he is, right? Like, and I think it's going to hinge a lot on their future success, how good he is in future seasons. So that is the Green Bay Packers. Shall we move on?
Yeah, to recap one more time, Matt has them at 10-6-1. Ben has them at 8-9. I have them at 7-10.
All right, let us move on to the Chicago Bears. 11-6 last season, first in the division. They beat Green Bay, lost in the divisional round to the Rams. Their offense was pretty spectacular. I have some numbers out of the bye. From weeks 1 to 4, they were 31st in rush EPA, 27th in success rate. After the bye, they were second in both of those. So, just going to say, yeah, I have a really hard time believing Braxton Jones is going to win this left tackle job, just because he was the starter for that early stretch. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe it is their best option. Their defense got by, passable, right? 19th in EPA. Don't talk about the 30 turnovers. Don't talk about it. But I think the biggest win last season was seeing the step up in improvement from Caleb Williams from where he was before. Metrics are still not going to favor him, but when you win as many tight games down the stretch as he did, I think you just get the bump, right? Like, and really excited to see what he does this season. Their coaching changes: lost Declan Doyle to a play calling OC job to Baltimore, and so they promoted Press Taylor, who I think was the pass game coordinator last season. They brought back Darnell Wright on a massive extension, well-deserved. Brought back Braxton Jones, as mentioned before, DeMarco Jackson, Case Keenum to be the backup, still kicking it, Elijah Hicks, Daniel Hardy, Jalen Jones, and Theo Benedict. And they traded for Garrett Bradbury after Drew Dahlman retired, and their free agency. The big one, the big headliner, Kobe Bryant. That's I said it when it happened. It's a major rug pull, right? Like I feel like he was going to be a major piece of making this defense feel different than it did last year. And I think he got a surgery and it's 4 to 6 months, right? Was I right on that one? Like I know it.
Yep.
At first it was like, oh, he could be out 8 to 10 weeks, and then he got a procedure. So we might not see Bryant this year. So that's a bummer. Devin Bush comes over from Cleveland, Neville Gallimore, Cam Lewis, Khalif Raymond, Kentavious Street, and Xavier Woods. Their big departure traded away DJ Moore for the 60th overall pick, and then they kind of just gutted the secondary. Shaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard, Nashawn Wright played a ton of snaps for this team. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he played 87% of the Bears snaps when he got there. Tremaine Edmonds, Alameda Zacchaeus, Andrew Billings, Nick McLeod played quite a bit too as a dime player, and then Durham Smythe goes to Baltimore with Doyle mentioned before. Their draft, Dylan Thieneman falls to them at pick 25. They draft Logan Jones, the center, to be the heir apparent. Sam Roush in round 3, hyper athletic tight end Xavier Thomas. He runs a fast 40. That's all I can say. And Malik Muhammad in the 4th round, hook 'em horns. And then we get into their remaining offensive questions. The nuclear offensive potential is off the charts when you just think about the skill talent, you think about the orchestrator, you think about where the step up in possible production goes for the quarterback. The offensive line was very, very good last year. Just a lot of pieces pointing in the right direction. And their coach is so much of a sicko. He did an athletic article and he's like, yeah, I want to score the most points ever. And he cited it off from brain, the Broncos 2013 season. It was like, yeah, they scored 36.9 points per game. I want to beat that. And so I thought that was hilarious. He's a sicko in the best of ways. The remaining, the secondary, who's going to play edge 2, IDL run support. Here's a good joke. I thought of, this is a topical joke I made while thinking of this. Monsters of the Midway, more like the Minions of the Midway. Come on, this defense takes a step back in a major way. I think, like I said with Kobe Bryant, I think one of the major things that they wanted to do was get more flexible on the back end with this secondary in Bryant and Thieneman, and now Kobe Bryant is going to be gone, so that's a big bummer. And then the left tackle battle. For now, we'll see what it is, because Ozzy Trapillo came back to practice about a week ago. So
it's crazy.
Who knows what that means? Torn patellas in January. We're playing, we're on the practice field by August. That's insane. But I think it'll be interesting to see what they trot out at left tackle. I don't think it's going to be Braxton Jones, but at the same time, I don't have a dog in the race. I don't think there's one guy I'm saying, pick me. But we'll see how that figures out. But turning over to Ryan, talk about the Bears.
Yeah, I'm really excited, man. Here's the thing too. I know that we talk about Xavier Thomas and we're like, listen, this guy's got a fast 40. That's all that we really can say. That's the point, right? The Bears have been actively hiding this guy. Ben Johnson is going to deploy this guy as a massive, massive threat to the league in terms of the speed. You're going to see a lot of screens and stuff from him, I would assume. Not too crazy in the offense, but another piece that I'm very excited about is Khalif Raymond in the offense. I know that it's a tiny piece, but adding him as far as a veteran presence into the offense, it's not going to be like he's going to explode and be this massive breakout player, but it's like he's a good piece to have in the offense, and he has experience with Ben Johnson as well. So adding to that depth. But when it comes to the receivers, I've talked to other people that aren't necessarily as sold, and I'm not talking you guys by all means, but They're not quite as sold after the DJ Moore trade. Listen, I mean, when it comes to the receiving core, holy cow, Colson Loveland looks great so far. Roma Dunze looks healthy again, and people very frequently forget that he was putting up top 15 numbers, before his injury. So this guy is still very good at football as well. And then, we've got Luther Burden, who will be perfectly fine. He's been practicing as of recently. As far as the offense goes, I'm not concerned. Now that left tackle piece, keep Trapio off the field. I want him healthy. He was very good as a left tackle, beforehand, and I'm excited for that. That potential for the offense, I'm definitely hitting on for sure. And Caleb, I mean, listen, as much as everybody wants to talk about that incompletion to Colson Loveland, that wasn't the right read or whatever, but the thought was there. I think the potential and the communication will get better over time. I think this team is going to be pretty good. But yeah, I'm excited about a lot of pieces. I already talked about Xavier Thomas. Sam Roush looks pretty good as well. Logan Jones has made really good strides in the O-line as far as the backup, because I believe they're going for Garrett Bradbury to start at least for the season. And then, I don't know. Matt, I've put it multiple times in our group chat. Malik Muhammad in the preseason so far has made a lot of noise on the defense. And I wouldn't mind if, Kyler Gordon, it really sucks to say this because I really enjoyed watching him as a Bear, but it's like, listen, if we have to move on and Malik Muhammad is the replacement, that's really good because he's been doing really good so far. Or at least let's put him in as a temporary and see how he does. Xavier Woods as kind of that slot in for Kobe Bryant after the injury. I don't think, obviously he's not as great as Kobe Bryant is, but I don't think that it's going to be as big of a hit as some people say. Tyreek Stevenson got a little banged up today. So did Jalen Johnson. I think that's worth mentioning. I think Jalen Johnson's going to be fine. I think Tyreek Stevenson might have a hammy. It might keep him out a couple weeks. But nonetheless, the secondary was something I wanted addressed. Same thing for the D-line. I can't preface this enough by saying, listen, I know that this year you're in the middle of a quote-unquote Super Bowl window, as some would say, just because of Caleb's rookie contract. But this whole D-line discourse and everything, they've got the money for it next year. They will be making a push next year. This year is about growth, and let's see what we can do. Next year is going to be massive for the Chicago Bears, and I can't be more excited about the future of this team. And I just think that they're just the sky's the limit for these guys. There's a lot of potential here. Floor's a lot higher than it normally is. So, can't help but just be excited.
Yeah. I a lot of the season just comes down to what growth do we see out of Caleb Williams, right? We saw him make this step last year. Can he then build upon that and make another jump? And if you're sitting in a very, very good spot here, and then you basically covered everything else, right? So breakout players. Do you have any? I'll let you go first, Ryan.
I've got a lot. I mean, I think Malik Muhammad's going to make a lot of noise on defense. Sam Roush is incredibly underrated. Xavier Thomas, I think, is going to be a massive, massive piece of this offense and the speed that Ben Johnson wants. Listen, I know that it sucks because he's a really big name. But guys, I'm wearing his jersey. This guy is going to be massive for the Bears this year. Colson Loveland, he's a do-it-all kind of guy, and the pairing of Loveland and Williams for the foreseeable future will terrorize defenses for a long time, similar to what you're seeing in Kansas City.
There you go. Yeah, I mean I have two rookies for like my breakout player. One is Sam Roush. I loved him going into the draft. He's going to be a guy that's going to be on the field mainly for blocking, and we know how much Ben Johnson really loves scheming that stuff up. So I think it's going to be perfect for him. And then another one, Bears fans probably know him very well. If you're not a Bears fan, you probably don't know a whole lot about him. But there's a guy along this defensive line who has been making a lot of noise. I don't even know if he's going to make the roster, so you'll have to let me know, Ryan. But I've been seeing a lot about Jordan Vandenberg. And
Yes,
some
he
of the
will be
stuff
making the
put
roster.
on- Yeah,
Can I hit on that
good.
really quick?
Good. That makes me
He
sure.
will definitely be making the roster there, and he's been making so much noise that Gravon Dexter's been hitting the trade block recently. So, which is awesome because I don't want to pay
Yes.
him, but it's like, I'm interested to see how that all plays out, what we get in return, or what kind of package we're going to put him a part of. But it's like, Jordan Vandenberg he's been making a lot of waves. He did get a little banged up today as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. But
Jeez,
we'll be
what
fine.
happened in practice today?
So
Why is
keep in
everyone on
mind,
defense just hurt?
this is the hottest
They run
practice they've
Lions
had all
practices.
summer. It's intense. This is the hottest practice that they've had all summer. So take this with a grain of salt that I'm saying that these guys got banged up because cramping was happening a lot today. So, but anyways, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, yep.
Very
Those are
excited
the
about
two
that guy.
guys, Vandenberg. So
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
he's someone that you just feel the energy around him. To be honest, and it feels like they are going to rely on him, but not as much as my breakout. And I don't know if I'm saying this with like 10 toes or just because like they're telling me to, but like Austin Booker needs to be like an every down edge rusher for this team. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I love that. Like I think he's a fun like role player and fun do the dirty stuff kind of guy, but there's nobody really behind him. Odingbo obviously doesn't do the things that he does from winning along the
a
edge.
motivated Deo Dingo.
I think he could be motivated to stop the run, but like he's never been a guy who can rush the passer. So there's real reliance on Austin Booker if there isn't a move here in the next few weeks before week 1 that he's going to be someone they really rely on to be a rush the passer kind of guy and be like a 7, 8, 9 sack kind of guy. So interested to see what he looks like this season.
Yeah, Odeyingbo could totally be cut after the season too, by the way. Like this is make or break for him. So when Ryan Poles comes out and say that he's motivated, yeah, probably.
Yeah, a defensive lineman coming off torn Achilles, I think it's just like, hey, can you be an early down edge setter and you'll play your role, right? Like and that was the thing when he signed. It was like he's kind of a role player, maybe gets something in the pass rush juice, and then tore his Achilles. So it was like, well, bummer. But should we get into the schedule?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Been looking forward to this for like 2 months.
The Bears' schedule, 9.5, right at the over/under. 3rd in the division, 7th in the conference, and they are 15th in Super Bowl odds. There's kind of a cutoff. They're kind of in that top 16. Outside of the top 16, it's a major drop off in odds. So,
should I start again?
No, well, I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it.
Okay. Yeah, Matt starts.
Where'd my schedule go? There it is. The Bears, I have them beating Carolina, losing to Minnesota, beating Philadelphia, beating the Jets, losing to Green Bay, and then beating Atlanta. So 4-2. 4-2.
Cool. Ben, go for it.
I've been beating the Panthers, beating the Vikings, losing to the Eagles, beating the Jets, losing to the Packers, and beating the Falcons, starting out 4-2 as well.
I'll have them beat the Panthers, beat the Vikings. Dang it, man. they're beating the Birds. They're beating the Birds. They're going to go undefeated, 6-0 right here. Yep. Yeah.
I have them losing to the Patriots, losing to the Seahawks, beating the Bucks, losing to the Saints, and losing to the Lions.
You said losing to the Saints as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice. I have them
5 and
losing
6.
both to the Patriots, and I have them losing both the Patriots and Seahawks, beating both the Bucks and Saints, and losing to the Lions. So I have the opposite of Matt there. I have them at 6-5.
I will have them lose to the Patriots, lose to the Seahawks, beat the Bucks, beat the Saints, and then beat the Lions. So 3-2 in that stretch. They are 9-2.
I have them, then finishing it out, losing to the Jags, beating the Dolphins and Bills, and beating the Packers on Christmas, getting swept by the Lions, and beating the Vikings, finishing 9-8.
There you go.
Okay.
I have them beating the Jags and Dolphins, losing to the Bills, beating the Packers and Lions, and then losing to the Vikings. This is why I said that game was ever so important. I have the Bears going 10-7, finishing second in the division to the Vikings in first place. The winner of that game would have won the division. So 10-7 for the Bears.
So, okay. To my count, then, you've got the Vikings in first, Bears second, Lions third, Packers fourth in your division standings. Is that correct? Cool.
Yes.
All right. To round it out for me, I will have them beat the Jags, lose to the beat the Jags, beat the Dolphins, lose to the Bills, beat the Packers, lose to the Lions, and then I will have them beat the Vikings to finish. Dear God, I think that puts me at 13. Go Bears. That feels gross to say. That doesn't work.
Who needs a good defense if we are scoring 37 points per game?
We're gonna get
Hold on a
50
minute.
turnovers
No.
this year.
I'm gonna swap one and say that they lose to the Jags. So I'll go 12-5. I'll go 12-5. That sounds more reasonable, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Ceiling and floor. I think I'm at the ceiling, to be honest with you. 12-5 is probably the ceiling. And then the floor, given this is the first place schedule, I'll say like 7-10. It sucks. That would really hurt. But 7-10. Things would have to go really wrong for that, and I really hope that doesn't happen.
Well, your defense would just have to be really, really bad, which is very, very much within the realm of possibility for this team. So, I think I'm right there with you. I think, again, literally, as I've said with the three other teams, eight wins as your floor, 12 wins as your ceiling. There we are.
Yep.
Okay.
I like with Ben. I think 8-12, but it's not a fun division to be in. Not a fun division to predict.
Yeah.
Also,
no,
do your thing really quickly, and then I want to talk about a Bears player that I'm getting annoyed by.
Well, go ahead, because we'll round this out.
Okay.
How are you annoyed? Games haven't started.
What? I'm annoyed by Luther Burden. Bears fans think that this guy is prime Tyreek Hill or something.
That's crazy.
I feel so bad for Luther Burden because I understand being excited and having expectations for Luther Burden, and I think he's a good player. I think he's going to have a good season. But hearing what Bears fans think Luther Burden is absurd. Bears fans are Luther Burden's going for 1,400 yards. They're just what are we talking about? who do we think Luther Burden is? All right,
Yeah.
you're like you're neutering your own enjoyment by like saying this about Luther Burden, and it's a shame because I really, 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 really want to root for Luther Burden, and like I think he's going to be a fun player, and I think he's going to be a good player, but man, some Bears fans.
It's so funny. You want to talk about crazy Bears fans? It's the preseason, right? You're building hype. 104.3 the score in Chicago. This guy named Dustin that says the Bears are going to play on Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day. Wives, aunts, and grandmothers all over are not happy. So funny because that would mean we're playing in the Super Bowl and next year. That's all I got to say.
I don't know. I think it's valid for Bears fans to be obnoxious about Luther Burden. Thirds in yard per route run behind only Puka and JSN last year down the stretch of the season. I don't know.
I think it's nice to be excited about something as a Bears fan for once. I mean, my God, it's been a rough stretch.
It's fun to be obnoxious on offense.
Yeah,
no, it's
here's
fun,
the thing.
but like truly, the thing with Luther Burden is the conversation that the three of us have had. Like, I think so much of it too is just the fact that like there are just like other guys in this offense too that really need the football. So you telling me Luther Burden is getting 1,400 yards? I'm just like,
Amon-Ra did.
I don't believe it because Colson Loveland and Rome Odunze are also very, very, very good at football as well.
One would say, I mean, is it? I don't know. Never mind. Let me do this really quick.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I was going to ask really quick while we're making predictions about the Bears. Does Caleb break the 4,000 yard curse this year, or are we still moving on that next year?
He better.
Yeah.
Right? Like
over under 63.5% completion percentage for the season.
Under.
Under.
Really? Both of you? Okay. I think that's a fun line. Anyways, to round us out here, Matt has them at 9-8. Ben has them at 10-7. I have them at 12-5. Fair down. Good stuff.
There we go.
Overall
I have
division
my
rankings.
NFC playoff picture, and like
Just do the
next week
North.
we'll do. Oh, just the North. We're not going to talk about the
Just
NFC.
the North,
I mean, I
and
know
then we'll
we
talk about the. Do the North, and then we'll talk about the whole playoff thing.
No. Go ahead, Ben. You've got your.
Oh, I thought you were going to read off for everyone. Yeah,
I can if you want.
Vikings at 11-6. Both the Bears and Lions at 10-7, and then the Packers at 8-9.
Matt, what do you have for your standings?
I had the Lions at 12-5, the Packers 10-6-1, and the Vikings and Bears both 9-8. Division record decides the tiebreaker.
So Vikings first, Bears, or I'm sorry, Vikings third, Bears fourth. Okay, kick rocks, dude. I've got the Bears at first place, Lions second, Packers third, Vikings fourth. I totally could have read the record, so I'll do that really quick. Bears at 12-5, Lions at 9-8, Packers at 7-10, Vikings at 7-10.
So you see the Bears as like overwhelmingly the best team in this division because they have the first place schedule and 3 games over.
I really believe in Ben Johnson and the offense, to be honest with you. This defense might be bad, but we'll be able to keep up. I mean, we did it against Cincinnati last year. Like, I'm just saying for an example, like that was a horrendous defensive game, but like, my God, could we keep up with the offense? And I also believe that Caleb Williams is going to put us in a better position to win this season, and it starts with better production in the first half. So yeah, and to ask, because I know I'm not asked, but I normally am at this point. Hey Ryan, what's your what are you hoping to see out of Caleb Williams in this year?
Hey, Ryan, what are you hoping to see out of Caleb Williams this year?
Oh, thanks for asking, Ben. So what I would really want to see is better production out of the first half. I want to see like him be amongst those quarterbacks that throw for over 100 yards, like, because it's been way too often that we see the Caleb Williams that doesn't, and then it's like, oh, somehow he threw for like 200 yards in the second half. Like, it's great. Let's be a full 4 quarters quarterback and utilize the players that we have, the weapons that we have. I would hope that I'm gonna say 4,100 yards. Don't just break a 4,000. I do 4,100. Little spice there. And then I would say keep the interceptions down. But hey, if he finishes for over, like, if he goes for over 4,000 yards and let's say over 30 touchdowns, but just so happens to throw like 15 interceptions, that really sucks for the ratio. But like, dude, if this guy's taking shots downfield, cool with it. Like, let the ball rip, man. Be my MVP. Come on.
That is bad. No, 15 interceptions for an MVP. Get out of here.
It is.
No,
that's an over-exaggeration, but I'm just saying
thing,
compared to his normal one, yeah. It's
the big thing for Caleb that I want to see is, like, can we get that completion percentage in the 64 range, right? Like the league average in completion percentage is somewhere around like 64, 65. So can we at least be league average and not be like a bottom quarter of the NFL in terms of completion percentage?
Yeah, please. I'm begging. Yeah. All right. So, playoff picture? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I believe we will probably do our playoff predictions in a future show as we get closer to
probably
the season.
Next week.
So stay tuned for that. Yeah. But
next week will be like the final preview show. Probably playoffs, awards, the bowl predictions, like all that stuff. I think that'll. Then the season's here.
All right. Ben, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. In the NFC, what I have is Rams in first place, getting the bye. Eagles in second, Vikings in third, Saints in fourth because they won the division. Seahawks in fifth, Niners in sixth, and then the Bears. They snuck in just barely at the seventh.
I see what you did there. Barely. Okay.
I hate this guy. We get to mine. Let's see. The Eagles are first in the conference at 12-5. The Rams are 12-5. The tiebreaker is I have the Eagles winning that game. The Lions are at 12-5 at third. The Bucks win the division in fourth. The Seahawks are the 5 seed. Packers 6 seed. Cowboys 7 seed. The tie is kind of my tiebreaker to like not have the Niners, Vikings, or Bears in there. I wanted to plant the flag on the Cowboys being the 7.
Gotcha. Let's see. So I've got
the Lions. Sorry, the Lions, Bears, and Cowboys all finished with the same record for me, and it was just a matter of like, we'll do the Bears.
You should see my AFC.
Hey, watch next week, y'all.
I've got the Rams as the 1 seed, the Bears at the 2 seed, the Cowboys at the 3 seed, the Bucks at the 4 seed. I want to say I had them winning the division there. Let me double check.
If they're the 4 seed, yeah, you did.
Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah. And then for the rest, for the wild cards, I have the Seahawks at number 5, the Eagles at 6, and then the Saints at 7. All the 10 and 7
making
records.
it not as a conference winner. That would be fun.
Sorry, the Seahawks have a 13-4 record, so that would be the 5th seed. But yeah, if you remember, they tied with the Bucks at 10-7 with the division and lost the last matchup of the year for that. Hey, one thing though, I do want to say I appreciate you guys for giving the Bears the Christmas Day matchup. Thanks for not ruining my Christmas. That's pretty cool. It's pretty sure all 3 of us had that.
Could be ruined.
Could be. Weddle?
Yep.
Can't believe I'm sweating out preseason football right now. That's awesome.
Hey,
You're
so,
sick,
so is
dude.
Nova.
You're sick in the head. What's wrong with you?
What'd you say, Ben?
I said, so is Nova.
Because that's her name, not whatever you said that was when I first got her. But
Cinderblock.
by the way, that's totally Vila. It's totally Vila.
Well, there you go.
See, told you. She just wanted to come up. She got bored.
Can everybody see?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Who wants to start?
Luther Burden. 1,400 receiver. Duh.
1,500.
1,500. Okay.
1,600.
Why stop there?
I just love that Ben. One of Ben's points was, "I'm gonna pour cold water on this like really cool player the Bears have."
If that is what the takeaway is, I apologize, because obviously, again, I preface it by saying he's a really fun player, and I look forward to seeing what he does. He's not getting 1,400 yards. I feel like there's a big middle ground to be had, a massive middle ground to be had.
You guys ever see that meme of like the people in the crowd where like they're like, this thing sucks, and like the people in the crowd are like, and then like they like give them a thumbs
What
up
happened?
and then go back to talking
did
about that
happen?
cool thing.
My tab closed. I tabbed out.
Unbelievable.
All right, one's back. There we go. Sorry. Let's see. Taller than 6 foot. He's older. He's taller. Daniel Jones. Darn it.
Oh no, my
I
headphones
know who it
just
is.
died. Oh my goodness.
Think. Wait.
Ben, should I just give me a thumbs up if you want me to? Okay, cool. AFC quarterback,
He's 6'6".
tall.
Oh, I got it.
Hold on. So if he's old, he's old. He's old.
Yeah. Who's old and tall?
Okay.
There's only
Old
one
and
man in the
tall.
NFL who's old and tall.
I don't know how tall the guy is, but I know he's old.
Say it.
Is it like my least favorite quarterback ever? Is that?
No, you like him.
Oh, I like
You
him.
like him a
Okay.
lot.
Okay. Or is that sarcasm? I don't know if that's
No,
sarcasm.
it's a bit. Like this player is a bit with you and Ben.
Is it? No. Hold on a minute. What?
It's totally a bit.
Is it Deshaun Watson?
No, think along those lines.
Oh, no.
Who's old, tall, and came back?
Joe
Come
Flacco?
on.
Dude, Joe
There it
Flacco.
is.
It's
There
Joe Flacco.
it is. There it is.
Comeback player of the year, Joe Flacco, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
is.
He got it. He got it.
It took me a second. Good God.
I saw 6'6". I went, there's only one man.
All right. Gravon Dexter, while he's still a Bear, I have to. The bit ends when he's not a Bear, by the way.
Does it go to Jordan
Fair.
Yes.
Vanderberg?
Yes, it does.
Oh no. Is he in here? He is.
Let's go.
He's made Weddle. Okay, wait. Get out of here. AFC defense, younger player. Is he 26? I don't know. No. 27.
Ooh. Defense and not a DB at that height. So we're working with a small linebacker.
Dude, I have to get better at this game. I'm gonna wave my white flag because I'm not good with linebackers. I don't know. I don't know. I've been bad at this game for years. Like,
Remember, with Josh Uche, it could be at 6'1" edge, Ben. Just remember that.
Patrick
Be
Quinn.
listed as linebacker.
what did
Patrick
Did
you
you
say?
say somebody?
Patrick
Quinn.
Queen. Linebacker. They both wore 6, Ben. Come on. Didn't help me at all.
What an idiot.
So he's not in the north or the south. He's in the east or west.
That's such a dumb joke. Why did it make me laugh?
Because it's good. Justin Sternad? Nope. He's 30? Damn, dude.
East.
What the hell's the number? The line. It's gonna be a Dolphins linebacker again.
Oh no. Oh God. Marte Mapu.
He's a Falcon.
He's a Falcon now?
This is the residue of me doing all these research things. Like, I know he's just traded from the Patriots to the Falcons. I just know that now, and it'll never go away. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, right.
I think I have it because from scouting, I think I remember this guy being short.
If you have it, rip it.
I think it's Dorian Williams out of Tulane. It was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great job. All right. We got to do it. We got to do it this week. This week is the week.
We're
What are you
getting
doing?
it. 16 no. 17 no.
17-0. Come on. It hasn't been 16 for years.
I corrected myself.
He did. I'll give him that. I'm respinning.
Matt, start
All right.
first.
What? Giants.
We lost.
Against
Chris
Denver,
Maynard.
duh.
League neighbors.
Should I just punt on coach?
Yeah.
I bet Harbaugh's like big on this. No, I have to say neighbors. It's coach or neighbors.
I would go coach. Yeah.
I hate the coach, so that's why I didn't want to.
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Now here's a guy that kind of
pretty good.
reminds me of
Pretty good player. Ooh, the Titans. This is a good one.
Patrick Mahomes.
Do they have a decent O-line? I feel like they made defensive additions that are pretty decent too.
No. Yeah. No.
I would say let's just. No, never mind.
Carnell Tate. Why not? I don't know.
Chargers. It's over. Charlie Kohler. Why not Hampton? This one's cooked.
Arate Gadsden.
This one's cooked. We block.
Hey.
Buddy.
Hey, Matt. Brock Bowers.
What, Ben? All right. Fine. You asked for this.
Oh my God.
This is the worst team we've ever had.
O-line.
Defense.
Defense, fine. Defense, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, this is a not good team. James Cook.
No, Jackson Haas. We block.
Is he frozen?
That's a good one.
Oh, okay.
He's not in the database. Wow. First down studio. You're going to hear from my lawyers.
Tyler Warren.
It was a little over dramatic sigh, but okay.
Parker Washington.
Yes. This is a good one.
Mina Kai.
Do we take Mina guys?
We have to.
Their O-line is fine.
That's an extra win as itself. All right. Punt.
Okay, who goes first?
Ben. Because I don't want to do it with the Bears jersey on. There's no way he's a good enough quarterback to do 17-0, right?
Oh, he absolutely does.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
Yes. We're on a great start.
Oh, I should have went Tucker Kraft. Damn it.
He's also really good.
Parker Washington.
I was gonna say
I'm
I'm going with the head coach. Just punt. Oh no. Froze this time. There we go. Okay. There we go. He's back.
Guys, we're so cooked. Amari and
Why are we
Hampton.
cooked?
It's
We're
not
not cooked.
it's not working.
Rodney Gadsden.
No.
Well, when you say things like that, yes, we are cooked.
Amari and Hampton. Maybe.
Oh boy.
Maybe it's Amari and Hampton. Potentially. In theory.
Is it?
Perhaps.
Can it be?
By chance, it's Hampton.
By God, it's Omari and Hampton. Oh. Matt?
What?
Oh, he's here.
Omari and Hampton? Yeah, it is. Okay. Rams D.
Over Nakua?
Yes.
Wow.
We're men of integrity. We do not want men who bite. Justin Jefferson. Could he get suspended for that? Is that like gonna?
Jeremiah Love.
No, Trey McBride. What are we doing?
No.
What are we
blocked.
doing? He's
We
a
blocked.
99 overall in Madden. That means he's awesome in
Stop!
everything.
Stop! Punch you.
Could be.
Jeremiah Love.
Oh my God. Jeremiah Love. Come on
Potentially.
down. Could it be?
Perhaps.
Maybe.
By chance.
And Trey McBride? Is there still a chance of Trey McBride?
In theory.
Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? Trey McBride? Jeremiah
The
Love.
suspense.
This is awful.
Oh,
This is terrible.
there it is.
This is god awful. Good thing we got through the fucking Bears, but like, holy shit.
You gotta go with like Waddle, right?
Sure. Who the fuck cares? Tight end. Oscar Delp. Great pick. Great pick, Matt.
Let's go, AJ Barner.
Barnyard. But first we have to take Mina. And then oh,
Yay!
so close. We were so close. Oh my god. This is so close. Great. Should we try one more before I spontaneously
Yes.
combust again? Let's hope I don't.
It really
I don't
adds.
explode.
Oh, respin.
Whoa, we lost.
Respin.
New game, new
Respin.
game, new game.
I would have picked Deshaun Watson, unironically.
I would have picked Shador. All right, Steelers.
Do I have to?
Yes.
You could always cop out and pick Mike McCarthy.
There's a correct answer.
Defense? O-line? What's the correct answer?
Darnell Washington.
Yes.
For the blocking? Sure. Sure. Go with it. Darnell Washington.
A win for the good guys today.
Excellent pick. My turn?
Yeah.
Well, this is... Can I pass? Pass. This is so dumb. Fine, Bill. What do I pick? You can't laugh. What do I pick? You laugh, you go to hell. What do I pick?
Redo it. Brand new game. Brand new game.
All right.
We're not going out like this. No.
Why was my pick? Oh, let's farm the
Stafford.
Rams.
Stafford.
Stafford's like 4th on my list.
Yes.
for
Wait.
the Rams.
Go Puka. I don't think we've gone Puka. I think we've gone either
Oh,
the
wait,
defense
no.
or Stafford. Go Puka.
Actually, he's 5th because I would take Puka, defense, McVay, Blake Corum over him.
Play Corum.
Great complimentary back. The Niners. Well, speaking of combusting, dribbling. Anybody? I'll take McCaffrey. We're biting people and getting hurt. This is terrible.
CD Lamb.
Wrong receiver. It's fine. It's fine. Not mad.
Cooked. Go ahead, coach.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Head
We're not.
coach.
We're not good.
Head coach.
Head coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Not Kyler Murray.
What if this was like start 9?
The whole time.
Yes. It's all coming together. This is a really good team. Holy crap.
HN?
Ben?
No.
I
No.
think we need a quarterback to throw to all these skill players.
Yeah. It's Travis Etienne.
That's not a bad pick either. Ravens.
Defense.
Lamar.
Defense.
What? Lamar. Washed.
Stop it.
No.
The fact that he froze in the pose that he did too.
There's no way he didn't throw his computer across the room right now, dude. There's no way. The way that I picture him just grabbing his laptop and just throwing it at the wall. Yep, he just left. It's over. It's over. It's over. We didn't do it this week. We didn't do it this week. Thank you for listening to the Pigskin Project. We want to thank Uppercuts Grooming, Regional Radio Sports Network, Heartland Sports Network, and Spotify for Podcasters for helping us grow as a podcast. And we will see you later. Visit our website or whatever. That'd be cool. Thanks. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you in that weird buffer week between the preseason and the regular season. See